We got our new ProGrip Dynatrac big brake kit. Exciting day. I'm going to do an installation video, show you how easy this is. Alright, well what we've done, we've taken off the tire, and we've got a lug nut, as you can see, holding on the stock rotor. We're going to remove the caliper bracket, caliper, and the rotor. Pretty simple process, and then we'll get rock and roll and started. And it's a very easy, simple kit. The tools that are needed are equally as simple. So we have a couple of combination wrenches. You're going to certainly need two of them. The third one, which is the 15, may not end up being used, but we're going to need a 21 millimeter, a 15 millimeter possibly, and a 13. And then we got some Loctite, which is always a great thing to have when you worry about brakes. This kit includes larger rotor, larger caliper bracket, brake pads, anti-vibration clips. Dynatrac has developed a formula that enables this kit to deliver up to 15% better braking, even after the additional weight of 37, 40-inch tires, 35-inch tires, whichever tire selection you've got. You start adding unsprung weight to a Jeep, the brake performance declines quickly. Yeah, stock system's real well engineered. Comes off very easily. Recommend getting I would say a wire coat hanger, or in our case, we use gear tie. Quite a great little product. Let's see, we might have one handy. Here we go, gear tie. So you can use a gear tie and you can tie up your caliper. Stays out of the way real nice. And then you'll pull off the caliper bracket. Wow, fantastic. All right, we've got the stock rotor that we've pulled off, our 16 Jeep JK Unlimited. And one of the great benefits of this kit is the rotor size, being a big brake kit, is about 1.5 inches, a little over 1.5 inches larger. We go from about 11.7 inches, I believe it is, stock. Here it is. And that would be, yeah, there you go, 11.7. And we're going to look over on the Dynatrac big brake kit, and we are, looks like, just short of 13.5. And what that means is you're going to pick up 1.5 inches of diameter. When you start to increase the diameter, you start to increase the circumference, you start to increase the area. Now you start to increase your ability to cool the brake rotor, to cool the brake pads, and the leverage that it offers is noticeably significant. So you can see right here, pretty neat, side by side. We're about I would say a good 1.5 inches longer, and you can see how much larger this rotor is. We can go ahead and take this rotor, and here we go. Let's do that. That tells a story right there. Now you've got a larger rotor, same caliper. This caliper bracket will accept the stock caliper, which is great because now you don't have to break the lines, you don't have to go bleed the brake system, and it's just a great way to do it, very efficient. So this kit's going to use stock hardware. You can see we've pulled off the stock hardware from the existing JK brake system. We're going to go ahead now and relocate the hardware that's on the stock bracket. And this is for caliper mounting, just very simple. You can see pulls off one and pulls off the other. All right, it's time. We're going to go ahead and take the Dynatrac big brake kit in the front, and we're going to locate that very easily in the front. You notice the bottom of that rotor kind of comes out, so we're going to go ahead and put a lug nut in place. Pretty simple, just to keep it in place for now while we're completing the operation. So what we're going to do now is add some Loctite to the thread of the caliper bracket itself. We're going to move the new Dynatrac bracket over in place. Very simply, we're going to go ahead and install that in there. Oh, it's pretty easy to do. Fantastic. We do the bottom one first. So we got the bottom one in place. We're going to go ahead and put in the top one. We put our Loctite in place as well. Real nice. Once we've got both of the front caliper mounting bracket bolts in place, we'll go ahead and get a torque wrench set to 120 foot-pounds. There you go. We need a stronger mechanic. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the anti-vibration. These prevent vibration and squeak on the brake pads. We'll put these clips back in place. Now we've got our 2 clips in place on the front. We're going to go ahead and put the front outside pad in place. All right, great. We're going to go and install the caliper mounting bolts in place. Make sure we use our red Loctite again, and these bolts are at 26 pound-feet. This is where your 15 millimeter might come in handy because you might not be able to get that outside bolt put in place. So you drop that 15 millimeter in place and you can hold that centerpiece from slipping. Just to make sure, we're at 26 pound-feet on the caliper mounting bolts. And don't forget the bracket bolts are the larger bolts, which are in the back here. Those are at 120 foot-pounds. So double check all your torques. Now that the caliper is in place, we're going to remove the lug nut. And we're going to remove our gear tie, which we use to hold up the caliper. In your case, if you don't have a gear tie, you go to www.teamtechoffroad.com and we'll sell them to you. Or you can go to geartie.com or use a coat hanger. We're ready to go. We're going to put the wheel back on this side and we're going to duplicate exactly what we just did 3 more times. And we're going to go for a test ride. Now that we got the brake kit installed, let's see how this Hemi does against the brakes. Woo-hoo! Now that brakes. You gotta have brakes like that to stop a Hemi.